Hello, guys. Welcome back. If it's your first time joining me, I want to say thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy what we're talking about today. And we're talking about stocks today and what to do as the stock market fall. And I say you should be looking for things to buy. You should be looking for stock to buy. So I hope you are looking for stock to buy. I hope you are looking for great companies to invest in, company that has growth and company that gives dividend. But I know you're not here to listen to me talk all day. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go to Jim Cramer and Jeff Marks as they give you the insight as to what is happening in the stock market, and then I will come back here and give you my stock pick for today, guys. So let us go to Jeff Marks on Jim Cramer.
Marks for the morning meeting of the cnbc Investing Club, of course, exclusively. Well, I got to tell you, Jeff, all that seems to happen is meander, but meander may actually be better if you're a bull than a continual decline. And some of this, I think, is that we're just so oversold.
Very oversold, minus 9.28 on the oscillator. So remember, minus 10, I mean, that's kind of like, whoa,
Right.
we're extremely oversold. But yeah, it does seem like stocks are hanging at these levels. I think the slide in interest rates are helping, the decline in oil, a lot of commodities.
The commodity rollover
we were talking about that earlier.
Extraordinary. I mean, we're seeing iron, we're seeing copper, plastics, lumber, all the building blocks of what we expect, aluminum, all going down. So if you're a believer in inflation being tamed, the first part is that the raw costs go down. The second part is that the users of the raw costs lower prices. That hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing it translate today. A lot of consumer stocks acting well today. Healthcare up again, too. It was up nicely yesterday. And there is we see the NASDAQ up. But there is a divide in tech, I think.
Yeah, we got to talk about that because we're on the wrong side on some of these.
Yeah, software stocks working well today, whether it's a Salesforce, which I know we're going to get to in a little bit, a big upgrade of Snowflake as well. But the semiconductors are lagging. And
they were up.
And they're the building blocks of the economy.
At 4:30 in the morning, you were seeing very good demand for NVIDIA and for AMD. And here they are languishing again. Yeah. Now, I will say this. Let me make a little chart here underneath. I like to draw these things. Mm-hmm. In the January decline, we got down to -9. People thought we were done. Yeah. Then we dropped down to -10. Then we went to 9. And then we went straight up. Now, this happens to be the exact pattern that Larry Williams traced out a month ago about what would happen to our stock market. That means we are right here. Or right here. We can't be sure because you can't really outguess the oscillator. But the oscillator was 9, 10, 9 last time. We are 9, 10, 9 again. We're at the end of the quarter. There is a very difficult Russell rebalance. We don't know whether that's going to affect the semis. Maybe that is. I think that's one of the reasons why Meta was down very badly the other day.
Yeah, some interesting moves. Meta is moving into the value side. Quite interesting. And of course, you spoke with CEO and co-founder Mark Zuckerberg.
Right. And by the way,
great interview.
Buying stock. Thank you. Buying stock back hand over fist was about the metaverse. Now, we broke news in it. Which we gave exclusively to club members, which is that one, Reels is ahead of plan. No one's thinking about that. People think that Reels isn't winning. Reels is taking real share from TikTok. Some of that is being very well integrated with Instagram. I think people do not realize the power of Reels being ahead. By the way, the Oculus, they are making very good money on the actual $300 object. Now, that is not going to necessarily move things. What does matter is that if Reels is doing better, then that's going to moot any sort of decline in advertising. Mm-hmm. Also, I think that the costs are going to be far lower than people talk about because they are far ahead in the metaverse, as we saw when I was in it. And the buyback is voracious right here. So I think if you buy this stock here, of course, not here, you're going to wonder and say, wow, this was one of those stocks that was so hated. Now, one of the things I would also point out, I don't know if you saw the way Mark handled himself. This is not the Zuckerberg of the jihad against Zuckerberg. Very reasonable man. When I was in with the metaverse, it was actually hysterically fun. I'm trying to get some
I wish we could see more of it.
I'm trying to get some clips of the metaverse exclusive for Investing Club people. Yeah. But I would point out that if he's right, and they have 1 billion people spending a couple $100, and what he's saying here, just so you know, he's comparing it to Fortnite. He's saying that a lot of people pay for the V Fortnite money. He's saying, listen, this is going to be very similar. but there'll be more opportunities to buy. So if you look at what they've been able to do with Fortnite, and you graft on what they've been able to do with TikTok, and you add the fact that they've added already a lot of merchants, and they keep adding merchants every day, then you can see that this thing's going to take off. Witness the fact that, and this is not related to my wife's diet habits, because I know that that's been the subject of John Oliver. Wendy's went in last night. Wendy's joined the metaverse, and that means they're going to be able to make some money off Wendy's. Wendy's feels that the metaverse is a fantastic place to get a hold of people. Now, you'd say, well, nobody's watching the metaverse yet. This is very typical of Zuckerberg. Who was watching Reels first? Nobody. He's well ahead of what people are looking at. So I felt very, very positive on the stock after last night.
Yeah, and I thought it was just interesting to your point about the billion users spending $100. That's their goal by the end of the decade. I mean, having their own sort of operating system, their own app store, so to speak. We've seen how important that has been to the growth of
I'm glad
Apple.
you mentioned that. I mean, one of the things that he mentioned, I said, well, look, could this be a way to get around Apple's privacy? And he goes, listen, we're going to have their operating system is going to have many, many people. And I think even more importantly, Jeff, he talked about how their AI is now serving up things that you'd like. Mm-hmm. And if you take those, obviously, you've got a more robust operating system. So that's another reason why I think the stock could bottom right
Instead, if you were on Facebook and Instagram, your feed was mostly whatever your friends and followers were posting.
So this
now
is
you're
AI.
seeing AI showing you content which is tailored to you and especially in what you like to watch and see.
And believe me, you would much rather take a meeting in the metaverse than you would in Zoom. You can talk to the person next to you. Yeah. They see you frown. They see you smile. I mean, the AI is rather amazing. It's just going to get better and better. It does not want a perfect digital twin a la what Jensen wants in a video. That's not their goal. They think that itself may take too long, and it's not what people want. They don't want exact replicas, but they do want to dress. That'll cost you a little bit of money.
Sure.
There's a little bit of money being made. It's very smart. I mean, one of the things that I really came away with, the people have to understand, I know this sounds really kind of stupid, but he is a really smart man. I know that people don't want to, there are probably a cohort there, including this Roger McNamee, that says he must be destroyed or something. He's stopped. This man doesn't need to be stopped. He starts out with a lot of good parental controls on this. Look, my daughter was a suicide counselor, and she's come around to thinking, listen, it's really up to the parents. The parents have to play a role here, and I think that's important. Now, let's go to Salesforce, which is not doing well today.
Right. So you had Meta last night, and now you got Salesforce tonight.
I'm going to spend 2 segments again like I did last night. 2 segments. All right, well, it's coming back up. But 2 segments on Salesforce, both with Brett Taylor. I am going to ask about Twitter. You know, Brett is the chairman of Twitter, and Mark did pursue Twitter. I presume that they'll say, we can't talk about that. Watch me. I've been a reporter. I was a reporter in 1977 when people told me, we can't talk about that. You know what that said to me? Let's talk about it. I am tenacious, perspicacious, and I never let up when someone says they can't talk about it. So let's watch and see about Twitter. I will talk about the possibility that this is the turn because he does, in most recently saying, hey, listen, we had bad recessions before. We went right through them, and we're going to do it again.
Well, they reported a great quarter.
They had acceleration in the sales cloud.
They beat everywhere, revenues,
except for
operating margins, earnings were good. I guess foreign exchange was really the only headwind to their full year outlook.
They have a huge business in Japan. This is a huge business in itself. Those who remember, Mark lost this to Microsoft.
Right.
It is the Trojan horse that is Slack. Slack may have a better instant messaging way to be able to find people in jobs. We are going to plumb that. No one else has. You better watch that. And then Disney. Let's talk about it. Bank of America said earnings estimates for the quarter lowers its price target to 122. Now, this is typical of what we're up against. Everybody who has a 150, 170 price target has to come down. A stock does not come up when a price target is cut. So Disney remains a huge house of pain for us.
Right. They raised the earnings estimate, but lower the price target due to multiple. It's interesting because they pointed out that even if there is, they said the theme park business is doing very well. But the analyst noted, yes, if there is some type of softness in the U.S. market, they think the international traveler will pick up that slack. And we actually talked about that not too long ago. But again, kind of a stock of the moment where you see estimates go higher, yet they have to reduce the price target due to where they were, due to the multiples.
One of the most poorly told stories about a great icon, and that's got to change. When they sit down and think about what to do, they better be aware that people think that the franchise is being run down, and that's not the case. I did want to say, just for some people who are looking for things, I mentioned Whirlpool on my stop trading.
Yeah,
and that's because
in the bullpen.
That Dr. Bitzer came on Mad Money and said, listen, he will sell Europe if he has to. If he does that, he can buy in all the stock. It's got a 4.4% yield bullpen. I've been waiting for it to stop going down. It may be stop going down. So focus on Whirlpool as a news story for today. And that's why it's up, because we talked about it. Once again, a very exciting day for Meta. I urge you to buy it. I urge you, and I typically do not do that, but I think you should start buying Meta. I'm Jim Cramer with Jeff Marks. Morning meeting. Hey, coming up, by the way, in July. Don't forget we have our monthly meeting. But until then, I'm trying to put up, and you are too, a lot of special bulletins. Like last night when I gave you a bulletin that no one else has, saying here's the stuff that really was news making for Meta. Stay tuned.
We had
watch
some stuff about Ford as well yesterday.
Ford, yes. Now Ford should be up because they took Ford bit the bullet. People don't seem to understand. In Europe, when you close a plant, you are up. The unions are up in arms. Well, you know what he said, what Jim Farley said? We make money everywhere, and we're not making money there. That matters. Aluminum coming down matters. Obviously, the bear market is alive and well when it comes to autos.
Sure. But
Ford Motors doing everything it can to lower the cost. I like this stock. Thank you very much.
Anyway, guys, thanks. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're learning a lot, and I hope you will consider joining the CNBC Investment Club. Their meeting is every morning at 10:30. I try to share you information when I think there is something great going on. So, guys, if you want to buy stock and you want to get first-hand knowledge, you want to get Jim's emails and all the things that they do, consider joining the CNBC Investment Club. Anyway, guys, so we're going to talk about Meta. I think that was most what we talk about. So we're going to talk about Meta, and which is Facebook. And, you know, you get Facebook, you get Instagram, you get WhatsApp. So you're getting all three for the price of $158.65. So let's talk about the stock and kind of share with you and show you where the stock was before and where it has gone. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change up things because what I used to do every evening, I would be giving a couple stocks. But from tonight, I'm going to be focusing on one stock. And the stock I'm focusing on is Meta Platform, formerly known as Facebook. So that's the stock. Let me talk about it. It's only $158.65. That stock was over $200, and it has come down. So you're getting it right at the bottom, and we expect great things, guys. So the stock for tonight is Meta Platform. And then I encourage you to buy Meta Platform, guys. So thank you for watching the video. If you're finding value, please consider subscribing to the channel, and please comment and like. And we'll see tomorrow when we talk more stock. Anyway, guys, have a good one. That's it for tonight.